You think you'd survive the Stone Age because you've watched survival shows and gone camping. You wouldn't make it past breakfast. In 2019, a group of experienced survivalists attempted to live like Stone Age humans for 60 days in the wilderness. They had modern knowledge of nutrition, fire making, and shelter construction. Injuries and psychological breakdown. By day 30, the remaining participants had lost an average of 35 pounds. These were experts. You're not. Here's what would actually happen if you woke up 20,000 years ago. You'd be hungry within 4 hours, starving by nightfall, and likely dead within 72 hours from infection, dehydration, or predator attack. The gap between modern life and Stone Age reality isn't something you can bridge with YouTube knowledge and determination. It's a chasm so wide that every single comfort you take for granted becomes a life-threatening challenge you have no skills to overcome. This is why you wouldn't survive one day in the Stone Age. What would actually kill you first, and why your modern brain is optimized for a world that no longer requires you to be capable of anything real. Hour 1, you wake up and immediately start dying. You open your eyes. No bed, no pillow, you're on the ground. Dirt, rocks, insects crawling on you. Your back hurts instantly because you've never slept on hard ground and your spine isn't adapted to it. Stone Age humans had different bone density and muscle development from childhood. Your body is soft. You're already uncomfortable, and it's been 30 seconds. But here's your first real problem. You need water, not want water. You'd wake up thirsty, and that thirst would become desperate within 2 hours. You see a stream. Perfect, right? Wrong. That water is filled with bacteria. You don't have that immunity. You drink the water because you're desperate. Within 24 hours, you're in serious medical danger. Okay, make fire. Right now. No lighter, no matches, no flint and steel. Just rocks and sticks. You can't do it. You've never made fire with friction. It takes specific wood types, specific techniques, and about 30 minutes of intense physical effort even if you know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You try rubbing sticks together like you saw on TV. Your hands blister. Your arms tire. Nothing happens. You spend 3 hours attempting to make fire and fail completely. No fire means no boiled water. No boiled water means drinking contaminated water. Drinking contaminated water means dysentery. Dysentery in the Stone Age without medical care means you're dead in 4 days from dehydration. That's just water. You haven't even tried to find food yet. Hour 4. The hunger hits different. Your stomach is growling. You haven't eaten since yesterday in modern times, and your body is already panicking because you're used to eating every few hours. Stone Age humans ate when they could, which was often days apart. Their metabolism was adapted to feast or famine cycles. Yours isn't. You need roughly 2,500 calories per day. Stone Age humans needed 3,000 to 4,000 because of constant physical activity. Where are you getting that? Let's explore your options, all of which will fail. Option 1. Hunt something. You have no weapons. You think you can make a spear. You need a straight stick, a sharp stone, and the knowledge to bind them together. You find a stick. You find a rock. You try to sharpen the rock by hitting it with another rock. You create jagged pieces that cut your hand. Blood, open wound. Infection risk immediately increases. Let's say you somehow create a crude spear. Now go kill something. Anything. A rabbit moves at 45 miles per hour in bursts. A deer can accelerate faster than you can react. Wild boar will charge you and gore you with tusks. Even if you see an animal, you can't get close enough to spear it because you move like a loud, clumsy modern human, and animals evolved for millions of years to avoid predators. Stone Age hunters spent days tracking single animals. Migration patterns. Feeding times. They could read tracks you can't even see. They could move silently through terrain where you snap every branch. They had throwing techniques perfected over lifetimes. You have none of this. Option 2. Gather plants. Okay, you're not hunting. You'll eat plants. Smart. Except 90% of plants are either nutritionally worthless or toxic. That berry looks edible. Is it? You don't know. Stone Age humans knew every plant in their environment from childhood teaching. You know literally nothing. You eat the wrong berry. Within 2 hours, you're vomiting, stomach cramps, dizziness. You just poisoned yourself, and there's no hospital. Your body will either process the toxin or you'll die. That's the choice. Even if you find actually edible plants, roots, certain leaves, nuts, you need thousands of them to equal the calories in a single meal you're used to. You'd need to gather constantly all day to get enough nutrition. And you don't know which plants to gather or where to find them. Option 3. Fish. You see fish in the stream. You'll catch them with your hands like a bear. Right. Fish are faster than your reaction time in water. They sense vibration and disappear before you can process where they were. Stone Age humans used traps, spears, and nets made from woven plant fibers. You have none of these things and no knowledge of how to make them. By hour 6, you've consumed 0 calories. Your body is starting to eat itself. Thorns and rough terrain. Your soft feet are cut, blistered, and bleeding from 4 hours of walking on ground you're not adapted to. Every step hurts. You can't walk properly anymore. This limits your range of movement to find food and water. You're now trapped in a small area, reducing your survival chances further. Your hands are also wrecked. You've been trying to manipulate stones, sticks, and plants. You have cuts, splinters, and scrapes. These are infection vectors. Every open wound is an opportunity for bacteria to enter your bloodstream. Stone Age humans had different immune responses from constant environmental exposure. You have the immune system of someone who uses hand sanitizer. But here's what's really breaking you psychologically: the silence and isolation. No phone, no people to call, no internet to search how to survive Stone Age. You are completely alone with your thoughts and your failures. Modern humans are not psychologically equipped for this level of isolation. Stone Age humans lived in tribes of 30-50 people, constant social contact, shared knowledge, division of labor. You have none of that. You're trying to do everything yourself: find water, make fire, find food, build shelter, defend yourself. Stone Age humans specialized. One person was the best tracker, another the best toolmaker, another knew all the plants. You need all these skills simultaneously and have none of them. The psychological pressure is crushing. You're hungry, thirsty, in pain, alone, and increasingly aware that you have no idea what you're doing. Modern humans develop clinical anxiety from much less stressful situations. You're living a nightmare scenario your brain isn't equipped to handle. Hour 12. The night is coming, and you're not ready. Sunset approaches. Temperature is dropping. You need shelter. You have no shelter. I'll build something, you think. With what? Stone Age humans used animal hides for weather protection. You don't have animal hides because you couldn't hunt. Branches and grasses woven together for insulation. You don't know which plants are suitable or how to weave them. You try to build a lean-to shelter like you saw on YouTube. You gather sticks and lean them against a tree. It falls apart immediately because you don't know how to properly brace structure. You try again. It falls again. You're wasting time and energy you desperately need. But here's the real horror of Stone Age nights. You think you're safe because you're human. You're not. Modern humans are apex predators because of technology. Take away the technology, and you're prey. Cave bears weighed 1,500 pounds and hunted humans. Saber-toothed cats specialized in ambush predation. Dire wolves hunted in packs. These animals went extinct 10,000 years ago, but 20,000 years ago they were active threats. Even regular predators, leopards, lions, hyenas, viewed humans as potential food if they caught you alone and vulnerable. You have no fire to keep predators away. You have no real weapons. You have no secure shelter. You're injured, weak from lack of food, and increasingly hypothermic as night temperature drops. Stone Age humans slept in defended positions, caves, elevated platforms, or groups with fire and sentries. You're alone on the ground with nothing between you and everything that wants to eat you. You don't sleep. You can't sleep. Every sound could be a predator. Every rustle in the darkness triggers panic. Your body is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. You're in fight-or-flight mode for hours. This is psychological torture that your modern nervous system can't handle. Hour 18. Your body is shutting down. Dawn breaks. You survive the night through sheer luck. But you're in worse condition than yesterday. You haven't eaten in over 24 hours. Your body has burned through glucose stores and is now breaking down muscle tissue for energy. You're weak, dizzy, and having trouble thinking clearly. Cognitive function declines rapidly with starvation. The brain needs 20% of your daily calories. You're giving it 0. You're severely dehydrated. You drank that contaminated water yesterday, and now the diarrhea has started. You're losing fluids faster than you can replace them. Your lips are cracked. Your mouth is dry. Your urine is dark brown, a sign of kidney stress. Your injuries are infected. Those cuts on your hands and feet, they're red, swollen, and starting to produce pus. Without antibiotics, minor cuts become major problems. You don't even have their limited herbal remedies. Your immune system is fighting multiple battles: the contaminated water, the infected wounds, the plant toxins you ingested, the stress hormones flooding your system. It's losing. Your body temperature is either too high from infection or too low from exposure. Either way, you're moving toward medical emergency. But here's what would actually kill you at this point: lack of will. You've failed at every single task you've attempted. Fire, failed. Food, failed. Water, made it worse. Shelter, failed. Your modern brain, used to instant gratification and constant success at simple tasks, cannot process this level of sustained failure. Stone Age humans were psychologically adapted to hardship. Failure was normal. Hunger was normal. Pain was normal. Their brains had coping mechanisms developed from childhood. Your brain is adapted to a world where you get frustrated if your food delivery is 10 minutes late. Hour 24. The math says you're already dead. Let's do the actual survival math. You need 2-3 liters of clean water daily. Failed 2,000 plus calories daily. Failed protection from elements. Failed protection from predators. Failed treatment for wounds and illness. Failed. You've succeeded at exactly nothing. Starvation is affecting your heart. Infections are spreading through your bloodstream. Hypothermia or hyperthermia is affecting your core temperature. Psychological stress is flooding your system with hormones that are damaging your cardiovascular system. Stone Age infant mortality was 40 to 50%. Half of all children died before age 5, even when cared for by experienced adults with tribal knowledge. You're an adult, but you have none of their knowledge and none of their physical adaptations. Your survival odds are actually worse than a Stone Age infant's because at least the infant had a tribe caring for it. The average Stone Age human life expectancy was 25–30 years. Not because they died of old age at 30, but because so many died young from exactly the things currently killing you: contaminated water, food scarcity, infections, predator attacks, and exposure. You wouldn't make it past day 1. Not because you're weak or stupid, because modern life has made you completely dependent on systems: clean water infrastructure, agricultural food systems, climate-controlled shelter, medical care, fire on demand, that you don't know how to provide for yourself. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Every technological advancement makes you less capable of surviving without that technology. You can order any food to your door, so you never learn to identify edible plants or hunt. You have central heating, so you never learn to properly build weatherproof shelter. You have antibiotics, so your immune system never developed the resistances Stone Age humans had. You're not adapted for reality anymore. You're adapted for civilization. Take away civilization and you're a helpless infant in an adult body. You have no survival skills because you've never needed them. You have no physical adaptations because modern life doesn't require them. You have no psychological resilience because modern comfort has made you mentally fragile. Stone Age humans weren't smarter than you. They had smaller brains and less abstract reasoning capability. But they had skills you don't have, knowledge you don't possess, and physical psychological adaptations you completely lack. They could do things you literally cannot do. Make fire, track animals, identify plants, build effective shelter, endure hardship without breaking. The average Stone Age human could survive in your world pretty easily. Give them a week to learn the basics, and they'd figure out modern life. Running water? Amazing. Grocery stores? Incredible. Climate control? Luxury. They'd adapt because they're adapted for harder conditions than you've ever faced. But you couldn't survive one day in their world because you're adapted for easier conditions and can't function when those conditions disappear. You're specialized for an environment that no longer requires general survival capability. That's not weakness. It's what happens when technology makes survival automatic. But it means that if the systems you depend on ever failed, you'd be just as helpless as you would be in the Stone Age. Because the skills required to survive without modern systems are exactly the skills Stone Age humans had, and you don't. You wouldn't survive one day in the Stone Age. Not even close. And the fact that you probably believe you would just proves how completely disconnected you are from the reality of actual survival. The gap between watching survival shows and actually surviving is the gap between fantasy and death. And you'd learn that gap the hard way, hungry, thirsty, infected, and alone, long before the first day ended.